Hey everybody, welcome to TradeScope. My name is Luis Garcia and I'm a part-time trader. This is my weekly recap where I talk about all the stocks that I've been trading lately. Before I get started, I gotta let you know that this video is for educational purposes only and is not meant to be taken as financial advice. So, let's get started. I traded two stocks this week. Still trying to stick to my $500 a week goal. I made it this week, spoiler alert. But it started with UPST on this day, which was, I believe it was Wednesday, I want to say. I think it was Wednesday. Let's just zoom out real quick. So this was Friday, Thursday. Yeah, this was Wednesday. So it was an intraday trade, as you can tell by my chart. I have the 5 minute up. Let me just grab my mover here. So this was a really quick trade, actually. It was sort of a momentum trade. So UPST, if you follow the channel, I have it on my watch list. I've traded it in the past, and I noticed that it was trading. I think it was like 10 to 15% higher on with good volume. It's a pretty whippy stock. Lots of volatility, low float for its price. So this day I decided to jump in pretty much right at the open, and I really didn't hang on too long. I was just looking for a quick in and out. So I got 100 shares. I think I was in at around like 82, and I got out at like 84. I think it was like 82.75 and 84.75. 200. Actually, I think I got out a little higher. It was like 85 something just on the first spike of the day. So obviously I could have held it longer. I could have gotten way more out of that trade, but I got $250 out of it. I was really happy because that got me halfway toward my goal with only one trade in a few minutes. So that was really helpful. So I'll switch to the doodle here, and we can kind of talk about the price action and the news. So the catalyst, let's find the catalyst. So they had earnings the night before, 30% surge, operator of an AI-based lending platform for banks. It reported its quarter four origination volume growth of 33% sequentially. So that seemed to spur a good move in the stock. I'm just looking at this price target. Price target of $15 when it was trading at $90. They raised the price target to $15. Upstart Holdings price target raised to $15 per share from $13.50 by Goldman Sachs. So Goldman Sachs is way off the mark on this one. Maybe that's an indication of it being overvalued. That could be the case. But regardless, I've traded this in the past. It can move really quickly. So, like I said, 100 shares in and out. I'm happy with what I got. I should have really held it. I could have really held it. I should say, all the way to this high. But again, it's whippy. So you can see it dropped right back down. It dropped right back down that morning. Within an hour, so you had to be quick on it, and then of course it whipped right back up. So there was definitely volatility here, and there were definitely opportunities to make money. And that's why I like keeping this stock on my on my watch list to trade, because when I see some good stuff happen with it, I like to kind of trade the action. So let me go to. I just want to check the monthly chart here just to see what it looks like. So yeah, you could see very whippy. Hit $90 back here. That was in December. Tumbled all the way back down to the 50s. Came back up to 70, kind of consolidated a little bit between 60 and 70. And then they had this great news and gaps right up, right? Breaks that 90 level and up into 96 it got. Wow, that's over the next couple days. And now it's got this big topping tail candle here. So, maybe the fluff is going to come out of it a little bit. Maybe it'll fill this gap, potentially back down in the 70s. Good place to get in for kind of like a swing trade, a longer term hold. I definitely foresee this stock going for the $100 mark at some point this year. Just because of the momentum, just because of the sector it's in, AI, lending, banking, it just seems right. It's got, like I said, a low float for its price, and I just see this thing continuing to give us really good trades. But yeah, that's it for Upstart. Got my $250 on that. Very happy about that. And then let's talk about, is it MBRX? Did I get that right? Yes. So this one was a crazy one. Let's look at the 5-minute from this day. So this stock jumped on my scanners. Trying to think which scanners. It was on a few different ones. It was on the momentum scanner. It was on my halt scanner. It was on my pre-market scanner. I think it was up like 380% by the time I started trading it, which is always a risk, because if it has quadrupled, that means if it quadruples and you get in, that means potentially if it goes back to where it started, you could lose 75% of your investment, right? So do that math real quick in your head. But that's the risky thing about trading these low float, low price momentum stocks that are up 300-400% on the day, right? Is when they do tumble down, they tumble down quick and hard, and you lose a big portion of whatever you put in there. So you don't want to end up on that side of the trade. So that's something to always keep in mind when you're trading stocks like this. But like I said, it showed up on my momentum trader, my momentum scanner, my pre-market scanner, my 10-day daily breakout scanner, and my halt scanner. So quick shout out to Trade Ideas for all their scans, because that's how I found the stock and I traded it. It was a riskier trade, I have to admit, riskier than I usually take, and I'm not proud of the risk I took on it, but I am very happy with the reward that I got on it. So let's take a look at how I traded this behemoth. I just want to make sure that I'm on the right day, because it was this day, I believe, that I traded it. Let's see. Yeah, this looks just about right. So I didn't even realize it went even higher. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. So I noticed it on my pre-market scanner. Don't pay too much attention to it, right? I was actually looking at a different stock. I think it was like EDSA or something like that. And I was also looking at AMOD, which is another stock that I traded last week. So I was looking at a few different stocks that morning because they were all kind of on my scans, but I didn't take any trades on those. And then I decided that I was going to take a trade on this because I noticed it just kept getting halted. Like look at these halts. A halt here, 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 right? And then more halts all the way through the day. It just kept getting halted, all volatility, right? So what was the news? What was the catalyst? Why was this thing up like 400%? Well, FDA news. So it's a biotech, and the name of the company is Moleculin. So Moleculin receives positive FDA guidance for acceleration of its registration-enabling miracle trial for R/R acute myeloid leukemia. So I don't know exactly what that means, but it sounds like a leukemia drug. They get acceleration of its registration for, I think this was like phase 3 trial. Yeah, here it is right here. Phase 3 pivotal trial. Low float, I think it was like 2 million in the float, something like that. and it was just cranking. It had a lot of volume. I think it was like 38 million at one point. The volume, yeah. So like 2.6 in this just in this candle alone. This is on the 1 minute. 2.6 million shares of volume on one candle. All right. Here's another one. 1.82 million shares of volume on this one candle. Almost a million shares on this one candle. 1.87 million shares in this one candle. So these are 1 to 2 million share candles that just keep going and going. So, like I said, I noticed this thing stair-stepping on the halt scan, and I've seen this before. This is a rare occurrence, but it does happen. And it's typically just when there's just so much orders coming through on such a low float stock that the market makers have to halt it because they just can't keep up with the orders, right? And the order and the price action is just ranging too much compared to what the price action was the day before, right? So halt levels are typically based on the closing price of the day before. So if it's like within a 10% window or 20%, I forget what it is, of the closing price the day before, then you're going to get these halts, right? And so as you can see, the day before it was only trading at like 44 cents. So 10% of that is what, like 4 cents, something like that. 8 cents if, 8, 9, let's say 10 cents if you're talking 20%. And you can see that's pretty much what happened. So it goes up 10%, it goes up 10 cents. It goes up 10 cents in one candle, it gets halted, right? Then it goes up another 10 cents within a minute, and it gets halted. 10, 20 cents, it gets halted, right? Here it is again. It goes up 20 cents, it gets halted, right? What was this one? A range of 26 cents, low to high, right? So where did I get in? So I see this, I think it was right about here. I saw this thing. Like I actually started to really pay attention to it. And I told myself, this is risky to get into, but maybe I'll check it out, right? So it's halted. I'm kind of like doing other things. And then I finally see like this I feel like this starts to be like a little bit of a pullback, right? Consolidation type thing. If this was regular price action, that's what this would kind of look like. So I end up getting in at 225, right? And to be honest with you, I would have liked my entry to be way better, right? But I wasn't expecting to get filled. So I was kind of like haphazardly pressing the buy button with 4,000 shares in my order window. And so I just ended up getting filled at 225. I think it was like on this candle right here. It was one of those candles. And I was like, holy crap, I'm in with 4,000 shares. Well, all right, whatever. I guess I got to hold it now. So I'm holding. I'm really expecting it to like break out at some point. And finally, it does. It breaks out on these two. It breaks out two places. It breaks out here. And I said, okay, that's great. And then it gets halted, and then it broke out here, and it got halted again. Well, it didn't get halted until a couple minutes later, right, on its way back down. But I had an order at like 275, so I was in at 225, 275. That's $2,000, right? I figured that's plenty of profit to take on a trade this risky, because at any moment it could unhalt and just drop, right? Or kind of just fizzle out, So I didn't want to risk that. So I took my $2,000 profit and I ran. And I'm really happy that I did that. As you can see, it kind of ended up unhalting later that day, and it got up to a high of like 364. So could I have made more money? Sure. But like I said, I'm very happy. You're always either leaving money on the table or taking a little bit of a loss. Like there's never really the perfect trade when you're momentum trading, really when you're trading at all. So you just got to be happy with what you got. I'm really happy with what I got, because at the end of the week, I'm sitting up at around $2,250 profit, and that's about 4 times more than my weekly goal. So I'm really excited about that, and that gives me a little bit of a cushion for next week to kind of take it easy and recalibrate myself and figure out, what I really want to trade so I can hit my $500 goal. And that's really what I'm doing. That's really the plan for next week. So that's everything that I traded. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you traded MBRX, if you traded other momentum stocks during the week. If you saw MBRX and you didn't like it, or you had other opinions about it, I'm interested to know. Let me know what you think about Upstart too, UPST, because that's an interesting one too. Just been keeping my eye on it for a while. I want to know if anybody else is watching it. So let me know down in the comments. And please, if you like the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I have other videos in my weekly recap playlist to go check out. And I also have other videos in my deep dive playlist if you'd like to check those out. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys next week.